بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أيها الأخوة والأخوات، أهلا بكم مرة أخرى في الحلقة رقم 23. هذه الحلقة رقم 23 من حلقات مادة اللغة الإنجليزية لقسم طلاب وطالبات قسم الاقتصاد وقسم إدارة الأعمال. طبعا في الحلقة السابقة انتهينا إلى الحديث عن استخدام ال frequency adverbs مع الفعل be ومع الأفعال الأساسية اللي هي الأفعال ال simple present tense، وطبعا الحديث كله عن ال simple present tense بشكل عام. اليوم راح نواصل بعض التمارين ودراسة ال simple present tense يعني in general. طيب، فنبدأ بالشريحة الأولى. طبعا هذه كانت نهاية الاكسرسايز اللي احنا سويناها المرة الماضية، الحلقة رقم 22. let's move on. Alright, exercise 6. Write about a typical day in your life from the time you get up in the morning until you go to bed. Use the following words to show the order of your activities. The words are then, next, at, o'clock, after that, and later. So you will write about, of course, what happens in your day. I want you to use a separate piece of paper. Now, in that paper, I want you to write everything that happens in your day, the activities, of course, that you do when you first get up in the morning until you go to bed. Okay? Now you use these words to help you. All right? Use these words. And here's an example, and I will read it. But you need to continue, of course, until you complete the day. Then this is only part of the day. Okay? This paragraph will only just give you an example about just only part of the day, and it is in your book, and there's some minor change. You will notice it. I usually get up at 7:30. I brush my teeth, take a shower, and go for the Fajr prayer. Then I put on my clothes and go to the student cafeteria for breakfast. After that, I go back home. I sometimes watch the news on TV. At 8:15, I leave home. I go to class. My class begins at 8:30. I am in class from 8:30 to 11:30. After that, I eat lunch. I usually have a sandwich and a cup of tea for lunch. Okay, so this is the example. You need to continue until you complete your day. So you will tell me, okay, you'll tell us in that piece of paper that you'll write, you'll talk about what happens after lunch. What do you do after lunch? Where do you go? Do you still have classes? Do you take classes in the afternoon? In the evening? Do you see friends? When do you have lunch? When do you have dinner? And all of these. And then finally, when do you go to bed? Okay? So that needs to be written on a separate piece of paper. All right, let's continue. This is another topic here, another point. Spelling and pronunciation of final ES. Final ES. Okay? Now, verbs, okay, like push, teach, kiss, and fix. Notice that they end with sh. Push ends with sh. Teach ends with ch. Kiss ends with s and s, so that's s. And fix ends with the letter X, but then of course it's the sound S. So the letters here, the SH, CH, SS, and X, right? They are endings, okay? The word ending here means nihaya yani. Right? So push, teach, kiss, and fix. All right. Now, this is the spelling, of course, for a verb in simple present tense with the subject he, she, it, or singular subjects. We say he pushes, all right, and she teaches, and he or she kisses, and it fixes or he fixes, things like that. And this is the pronunciation, and I will show it to you later on. So what happens is that we have the ending here. The ending, of course, we put it here. That's the spelling. When we use, of course, push, we have pushes. That's, of course, the ES. And then from there, we have the word pushes, okay? And it is like that. It's pushes. It's spelled ES and pronounced and Z. And if you remember from, of course, last session, but the previous one, we talked about what happens, right, in, or why, of course, we have the Z. Now, this one is a different issue here. We have the sounds sh, ch, and s here also. So we cannot, for example, say push and then just add z or s. There has to be some kind of vowel here. We need to include or to insert a vowel here because the sound is sh and ch, and also other sounds like j is included, but we don't have examples for it here. So teach, teaches, of course, teaches, and there you go, the spelling, I mean the pronunciation here, it's is, and these are, of course, the symbols, the phonetic symbols. Kiss, kisses, and that's the pronunciation. Fix, and fixes at the end, fixes. So pushes, teaches, kisses, fixes. All right. And in fact, even with the plural form or plural from, for example, words like book and bag, all right? With book, of course, we have books. With bag, we have z. But in words like sandwich, sandwiches, right? Sandwiches. And words like judge, we have the plural would be judges. All right. So that es becomes is. Notice that it says z, okay? Z sound. The z sound. All right. Let's do more practice then. Okay, more practice next. Exercise 7, use the verbs in italics to complete the sentences. All right, brush, teach, fix, drink, and watch. So we need to put this word here, but we, of course, notice that the subject is singular here. So we need to do some change. This is the base form of the verb. This one is the base form of the verb, and here, and also here. And the reason I do not, of course, have any red color on any of the letters here is because it's the base form of the verb anyway. Okay? All of these are, but of course, because the discussion here is about the sounds or the letters S and H, CH, X, and SS, of course. We don't have an example here in this slide. So Alice then brushes her hair Alice brushes her hair every morning. Number 2, teach. Alex teaches English. Teaches. Fix. Jason fixes his breakfast in the morning. He makes eggs and toast. It means, of course, he makes, right? Drink. Sonia drinks tea every afternoon. Watch. June Key often watches television at night. Okay. Let's continue with exercise 7. Number 6, kiss. Peter always kisses his children goodnight. Notice that this verb ends with SS, and therefore we have ES. In spelling, it is just ES, but in pronunciation, we say kisses. Kisses. And then wear. Ali usually wears shmar to class. This is shmar. And 8, wash. Eric seldom washes dishes. Eric seldom washes dishes. Number 9, walk. Ahmed walks 1 hour each day. And here also notice that the final sound in the verb walk is voiceless, and therefore we pronounce this, sound, right? S. We say walks, not walks, not z with z sound. No, it's with s sound, because the final sound, right, or the final sound in this word, in this verb, is voiceless, which is k, and k is voiceless, and the s here, the s, has to be, or of course, this sound must be of voiceless as well, for the sound features to be similar. Okay, number 10 here. Stretch. When Jack gets up in the morning, he stretches. Okay, and yawns. And notice how I pronounce it, yawns with z, because again, the last or the final sound in the word yawn is n, and it is voiced. Therefore, we pronounce the s with z and not s. يعني آخر صوت في الكلمة هذه إيش؟ ن. and ن يعتبر voiced، يعني معاه الحبال الصوتية فيها اهتزاز، فلذلك تنطق الاس هنا تنطق ز وليس س. Yawns, it's not yawns, it's yawns. Okay, yawns. All right, and that's the end of exercise 7. Okay, exercise 8. Put the words in the correct order to make questions. طبعا هذا مقدمة للحديث عن كيفية كتابة أسئلة باستخدام ال simple present tense. And here we'll start with some questions. طبعا فهنا في some words، بعض الكلمات طبعا they're not of course ordered in the correct way, look, you have you get up, do, and what time. Okay? The word what here is, of course, for questions, and it's followed by the word time. So what time? That means a question is going to be about, like, for example, I say, what time? And then we have of course, the pronoun you here. So the answer would be, or the way it is ordered is like that. What time do you get up? لاحظ إنه do comes after the WH word, and of course the word time with it. If we do not have that word, the word time, we can say, what do you do, for example. Remember in a previous slide we said, what do you do? It means, what's your job? Or what do you eat? So the what, and then we get the word do, which is considered an auxiliary, or that is used to make questions. And then you, okay, and then the thing that we ask about, all right? So what time do you get up? What time do you get up? Okay, what time do you get up? All right, what time do you get up? And then number 2, do, leave, you, what time, and home. Of course, we start with what time, and then what? Can you guess? Is it do, or leave, or home, or what? Of course, after what time, we have do. So what time do you leave home? What time do you leave home? And by the way, notice how I say them. What time do you get up? What time do you leave home? Remember what we said regarding the intonation, okay? Rising or falling. With WH questions or information questions, it is falling. So I say, what time do you get up? What time do you leave home? Number 3, go, how, you, do, to work. And the question word is, of course, how, all right? It has to be followed by do, and then you, and then go, and then to work. So, how do you go to work? How do you go to work? It's a question. Number 4, get, what time, to work, you, do, and the what time here, of course, is what we start with. What time do you get to work? What time do you get to work? Okay, read it. Number 5, what time do you finish work? What time do you finish work? And number 6, home, what time, you, do, and get. What time do you get home? What time do you get home? And notice that the questions here, all of the questions are what? We use what time, we use how only. But we also have the pronoun you. And with you, I, they, we use do to ask questions using the present simple tense, in present simple. So you say, for example, what do you do? What do you eat? What do they do? What do they eat? What do students study? And what do Muhammad and Abdullah eat? So that's for plural, and for the pronouns I, you, we, and they, we use do to make questions. And it comes immediately after the word what, or where, or how, or when. Any question word that starts with, of course, W, or with, or just with how, similarly, of course. Okay, next slide is Now this is, of course, these arrows tell us about the intonation, as we said. What time do you get up? Following in information questions. What time do you leave home? How do you go to work? What time do you get to work? What time do you finish work? What time do you get home? Okay. All right, let's do some vocabulary before the end of this session, because as I said, in some sessions, of course, we'll do some vocabulary exercises. It says, complete the questions with a word from the box. Let me read the words to you. Excuse, right? Say, and it will be used twice, 2 times. Borrow, write, understand, repeat, spell, speak, and mean. These words we will use to complete the questions. Okay? Look at these questions. Number 1, how do you, and then colleagues. So now, of course, the word colleague means zumala, all right? So how do you, what, excuse or say or borrow or write, understand, right? Or what? Can you think? One of them, of course, is correct. How do you spell colleague? How do you spell the word colleague? Okay. We're talking about the word. Okay, the word colleague. Number 2, sorry, can you, the questions? Can you tell now which one of these? Can you, the questions? What do we do with questions? Right? Repeat. You're right. Can you repeat the questions? Number 3. We need something here. What do we start with? And then look at the rest of the sentence. Can you, that again, please? Right? It is, excuse me, can you say that again, please? And remember, we're going to use this word, twice, 2 times. Number 4. Can you slowly, please? What do you want to be said slowly? If you do not, for example, understand, if somebody speaks fast and you want him to speak slow. So it's the word, of course, speak. I already said it in that question. Number 5. How do you astarada in English? This is a word, and it should be, of course, written with italics or italics. The word astarada. How do you say astarada in English? Because we said we need to use the word say 2 times. And number 6, the word on the board, please. Can you write the word on the board, please? Can I borrow your dictionary, please? And the last one, what does the word leisure? The only one that's left here is the word mean. يعني ماذا تعني كلمة leisure? Okay? All right, and with this exercise, this vocabulary exercise, we come to the end of session 23. بهذا نأتي إلى نهاية الحلقة رقم 23. آمل أن تكونوا قد استفدتم. والتقي بكم إن شاء الله في الحلقة رقم 24. شكرا لكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.